What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So it seems like every time we pop on here, it's like the polar opposite of kind of what we were talking about prior, right? Where we're talking about the market as a potential chance to explode and when we're going to see altcoin season, all the positive sides of things. Now we have to kind of speak on what's going on the negative side. And it seems like we have that jump back and forth. And it's just because that's how a speculative market goes, right? That's how these markets that people don't 100% understand will go. And if you look at all the businesses back in the day, the internet businesses, those fluctuated. They saw revenue days, high revenue days, low revenue days. They saw great attention and great feedback, and then it was crickets, right? That's just how these speculative markets work, especially when you're trying to fully figure out something that's going to be established and something that's going to be a major impact to our economy and our normal day of living, right? And seeing how cryptocurrency will or can and will have an impact on how we spend money and where we keep our money and the fluency of communication between that money, between those two parties or three parties or five parties, right? So seeing that, we know that it's very speculative. Now, the market is crashing today, and I'll consider it crashing. Some people might say, oh, we've seen worse, and we have seen worse, right? We've seen days where it drops by 11, 12, seems like 20%, and the overall market, you see it drop down to its low from a high, and it's down like 60 or 70%. Obviously, we've seen worse days. But when you're looking at a market, and you're seeing things that are dropping by a heavy amount, and you have, let's say, $100,000 that's in there, and it drops by $6,000, $7,000, $8 or $10 or $20,000, obviously that is a crash in your book. Some it might affect more than others, but the market is down a significant amount today. We're going to see the overall crypto market. I said crypto market is 2.72 trillion dollars. It's down by 4%, 4.26% in the day. And if we look at Bitcoin's dominance, it's increasing again. Even though we're seeing things that are dropping, we're seeing majority of that impact really come from altcoins, right? Where crypto is or Bitcoin is not as down, but overall crypto and altcoins are down a significant amount, some more than others. But it's up to 61%. And we're nowhere near right now. We're nowhere near altcoin season. Hopefully we get towards, April, mid-April, end of April, and even into May, and we start to see that transition and that push to altcoin season. You can kind of confirm that as you go here, 17 out of 100 when it comes to, this scale here, right? Are we in altcoin season? No, we're in Bitcoin season right now. And we're trying to find a way to get up to that altcoin season, but money has to kind of fluctuate or trickle down to other projects. Just some notable things that are decreasing, right? You're going to see Bitcoin that's down by about 4%. The next largest crypto, which is Ethereum, is down by 6.5%. So almost double what Bitcoin is down percentage-wise. If we look at XRP, it's down by 6 or almost 7%. BNB is down by 2%, 6% for Solana, 5% for Dogecoin. Some of the biggest winners, you still have Kronos, it's actually up a decent amount. I saw the pickup that it had there. I wanted to go live, but I didn't. But it is up by 5%. Tether Gold, that's up by 1.3%. But then we look at the opposite, the polar opposite of where that is, right? You see Curve, you have CRV that's down by 15%, Bonk is down by 11%, Sonic is down by 11%, Pyth is down by almost 11%, 10.5% if you wanted to get to the closest level there. Polygon, previous Matic, or POL, so it's not Matic anymore. I didn't even know that. But it's down by 10.4%. The graph is down by 10%. You get the gist, right? You understand that the overall market is down. Why is this happening? Why are we seeing things that are dropping? Well, one, before we dive into the article that we have there, know that I believe that these things are happening. Typically, they happen around tax season, right? Tax season is not the best time. That's why I'm looking for end of April, beginning of May to be more aggressively positive towards altcoins and just crypto in general and see more activity there, more money that's flowing into there. But you also have the reason as to why Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP prices are crashing today. So ahead of the monthly close, in the coming days, the crypto market led by Bitcoin has experienced a rising bearish sentiment. The total crypto market cap dropped from 4.2 or dropped by around 4.2% in the past 24 hours to hover around $2.89 trillion on Friday. It's a lot less. During the early trading session for the Western financial markets. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum, Ripple Labs, XRP prices dropped over 5% to trade at about $1,900 and $2.24 respectively at the time of writing. As a result of a sudden crypto sell-off today, more than $336 million in liquidations from leveraged crypto market, mostly involving long traders. This is something that happens consistently, right? That's why leverage trading is very, very risky. But if you do it the right way, you can be able to make money from it. You just have to be able to protect your long-term investment with something that maybe you can gain in the short term, right? And typically I do that through investing into one position, seeing those gains. And once I do see those gains gain over 100 or 200%, which is easier with leverage trading, that's when I take my initial investment or I take my initial investment plus profit. And now I'm able to make money out of it. However, you still have money that's being liquidated at those times. Major forces behind crypto dump today: declining futures open interest. In the past 24 hours, the open interest for crypto market dropped by around 2.57% to hover around $109 billion at the time of writing. Ripple XRP experienced a decline of about 3.21% in its OI to hover around $3.92 billion on Friday. The Ethereum market recorded a decline of 3.58% in its OI during the past 24 hours to hover about 22.37 billion. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's OI declined by around 1%. You can see that's how it is because compared to the actual market, right, everything else is falling more than Bitcoin. But 24 hours to hover around 56.84 billion at the time of writing. Uncertainty caused by the U.S.-led tariff wars. I did hear like that is a major part, or feel like that is a major part ahead of the U.S. tariff implementation on April 2nd. The crypto market has experienced bearish sentiment in addition to Friday's high impact news. Inflation regarding the core personal consumption expenditures for monthly and yearly, the demand fear of further crypto capitalization is capitulation is palpable. Now, understand that these are all just assuming that these pieces could be the major impact, but all of them together obviously lead to some really negative reactions within the market. But that's the one thing that I wanted to classify, is that these are negative reactions by people based on what they believe is going to happen. Negative reactions by businesses and firms based on what they believe is going to happen because they don't want that short-term impact to whatever they hold. For me, I'm longer term. I don't have to worry about any of that. So hopefully we see the best of that. I have to take this call. So if you guys could, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out my link for BTCC down below. I got to get out of here. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.